Hello, reader. Thank you for joining us. This is the Christian Readers Community Podcast. On this podcast, we will be discussing with fellow readers and authors. You will never lack for good conversations and recommendations of Christian books. If you're a lover of literary works, fiction and non-fiction, then you have made the right stop here. Thank you for joining us again.
Sarah Rexford graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Strategic Communications that taught her to write for multiple mediums, radio soundbites, film, campaigns and speeches, and more. Is a search engine optimization copywriter for thought leaders recognized by Forbes and the United Nations. She runs a website for writers that brings in over 100,000 impressions, where she shares the lessons she's learned. She speaks at conferences with keynoters such as Charles Martin and is placed as a finalist in many writing contests. She's currently working toward the publication of her debut novel. You can find out more at www.sarahjrexford.com/book.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Christian Readers Community. I'm Faith Jiga and I'm back and I'm excited to be back because it's time to talk books. I'm here with Sarah Rexford. Welcome to the show, Sarah.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you. You're the second Sarah I am interviewing on this podcast. Yeah, the first one is not the same surname, of course, but you both have the same first name. So you're welcome to the show, Sarah. Welcome once again.
Thank you so much.
So without wasting much time, tell us about yourself. We've read a little and would like to hear directly from you.
Yeah, for sure. So I have been kind of creating stories since before I learned to read, actually, and that has just translated into my adult life and my career. But early, I remember someone trying to help me practice my reading when I was a little kid, and I refused to read the words. I just looked at the pictures and made up stories based on what I saw, and just figured, why read the story when you can create one yourself? So eventually I did learn to read, but I didn't ever stop creating stories and just writing stories that I wanted to read. So midway through high school, I've been writing short stories my whole life and decided to challenge myself, see if I could write a full-length novel in high school. And I did that. It took about 11 months, came in at 130,000 words, a kind of a medieval fantasy. I had no idea what I was doing, but I wrote it beginning to end, finished it, and kind of thought that was the end of the road for me with writing. Obviously, that has changed. Later, I got into SEO copywriting and editing and creative writing for my own books. But yeah, it was kind of a journey I didn't expect, but I'm very glad to be here today.
Wow, it's actually funny to hear that you started creating story long before you could read. How did you create this story? Orally, or you drew pictures or something?
Yeah, I was supposed to be practicing my reading, but it was a picture book with words, and I just thought, I'll look at the picture book and make up my own words. So, yeah, I was just orally telling stories since literally before I could learn to read.
Wow, that's funny, really, and incredible too. Anyway, so from your biography, it shows us that you were mentored by a 21 times New York Times bestselling author. It's such an incredible opportunity because not all authors, including myself, has such a beautiful privilege. So what was it like for you, and how has it shaped your writing?
Yeah, it was definitely an extreme privilege. I'm super grateful for that. And that it was super humbling because I went into this kind of mentorship and I didn't even know what I didn't know. I think sometimes you know what you don't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, and I didn't realize there were writing rules. I didn't know any of that. And so I was super grateful for this author to kind of teach me the ropes of writing. And there are a couple lessons that he taught me that have really stuck with me today and influenced how I write, how I edit the books that I work on. And the first one I'd say is he always went back to all writing is rewriting. And as writers, we hear that editing matters. But he kind of said that because his other big kind of mantra was put the reader first. And you can't put the reader first if you just write your first draft and call it good. 'Cause
Sure.
it won't be as fully fleshed out as it needs to be. And so for me in my writing today, I'm just always thinking and always kind of have his voice in my head, Sarah, put the reader first, put the reader first. Is this plot point? Is this character development? Is this helping the reader? Or is it just kind of aiding your own dreams of writing this book? Are you actually putting the reader first? And so that has stuck with me. I mean, obviously his training with writing rules and all of that was huge, but just kind of at a 30,000 foot level, putting the reader first through so many edits has really stayed with me.
You said something earlier. You said that he taught you the writing rules. I've taken some writing courses, and I've heard some writing coaches say sometimes you have to do away with the rules, do away with the A, B, 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 and C, C, C. Just do it your way, be yourself, and all that. So, right, based on the fact that you've been mentored by a 21-time New York Times bestselling author, and the fact that you've been writing, right from the time, you wrote your first novel since high school. Would you agree with the fact that there are no writing rules, or are there rules that must be followed?
I think it really depends on why you're writing and who your audience is, I would say. And I'm by no means a master of the writing craft. I think everyone is always growing and learning. But what I've found from having no idea about the rules to now having some sort of grasp of them is that they're there for a reason, and it can be really helpful to follow them. But also knowing them and studying them really helps me know when it's okay to break them and to break them with a purpose. And so to kind of have that dual just kind of knowledge base of these, I know the writing rules, but I also know why they're being used and why I might want to break them. Of course, you'll read some of the classics or some of the bestsellers of today and look through and see, oh, they're not following some of those rules. But that's because of the greats. They're the greats of our time, and they know why to break them. So I think if you're that credible, then you can break any rule you want. But I think for authors who are coming up and growing, it's helpful to kind of have that guidance.
Yeah, for foundation, right? Wow. Oh, okay. So you said something. You discussed your journey with us, how you discovered your love for writing from secondary school. You said it was almost by accident. How did that help you realize that you were called to write?
Yeah, so I wrote that novel just as a personal challenge. I'd written short stories all growing up and just really did it as a personal challenge. But what I've realized throughout life is that to kind of pursue continual growth, I always want to be being poured into by those further along than me. And so I've had a lot of different mentors over the years, but one of them, this really sweet, very educated older woman, she found out that I'd written a book, and she said, Sarah, you need to go attend a writing conference. And I thought, why would I do that? I just wrote one book. I don't even really want to be a writer. Why would I go to a writing conference? I'm not credible. I'm not qualified. But kind of out of respect for her, I went. And I'm so glad I did, because I took my book with me, and these professionals at the conference were so kind to me, and they looked at my writing, and I mean, I'm sure they could tell this poor girl does not know what she's doing, but she did write a book and she has it in her. And so they were really, really thoughtful. And I sat down at kind of a round table with a editor, I believe she was, and she looked at my book and she read my writing, and she said, Sarah, I can tell that you just love words and you love putting them together and you just love language. And that had never been really articulated to me. I never thought of that pertaining to myself at all. And when she said that, I thought, you know what? She's right. I do. I love it. And so I'm so glad I went to that conference, because that just sparked everything. And yeah, here I am today.
Well, what a beautiful journey, really. And now, yeah, and today you're not just an author, but you run a website that brings in over 100,000 impressions. You are a copywriter and also an editor. How has this wealth of experience, shaped your writing? And also, I have two questions. So the second one is how you get the time to balance both these aspects of your writing career and family too?
Yeah, so I got into copywriting. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, for those who may not be familiar. So SEO copywriting is basically, I work for different clients around the nation and write copy that ideally enables their company to rank on page 1 of Google. And so it's really fun to work with that technical side of writing. It just kind of uses a different part of my brain. But I also work as an editor for a publisher in Manhattan. And I love that because that allows me to kind of access the creative parts of my brain and to work with authors through the editing process. But of course, I'm an aspiring debut author, and so I love working on my own books as well. And so what I've kind of found is helpful for myself is just to do the day job during the day and pursue the creative writing career at night, kind of the classic, the writer by night. And yeah, that's worked really well for me. But I really love what I get to do for work. I'm really blessed to be able to do writing for work and to be able to pursue my creative writing career on the side.
Talking about being a debut author, you have this beautiful book that has gotten the attention of the top 5 in the publishing world, and I've seen some beautiful endorsements from great authors like Diane Mills, Kirk Marie, and I was just like, wow, for a book that's yet to be published, it's already getting this kind of attention. So tell us about this beautiful book that you're about to publish.
Yeah, I'm so grateful to have authors in the industry who are recognizing it. I think for debut authors, it's a bit of a double bind, because to get published, you need a readership, but you kind of have to get published to build that readership. And so that's been the difficulty. I'm really grateful for different editors at the Big Five who have given me positive feedback. And for these authors that have endorsed my work, that's really just humbling, and I'm so thankful for it. But yeah, I'm eager to get this book out into the world, because I created my protagonist through consulting with a renowned clinical psychologist. And this story really takes place in a dystopian world. So I sought to credibly reveal just kind of the deep humanity of this character who's battling a lot of emotional trauma, and hopefully provide an entertaining read as well. So really the book is about her journey, and through her character, I hope to show that you don't have to overcome the past before making an impact on the present. We're all a work in progress. We each have something to offer regardless of what we carry. And creating this character is my attempt to showcase this truth. And I'm eager for readers to hopefully benefit from her story.
Tell us about the book. Tell us briefly about the book.
Yeah, so it's about a country whose currency changes from money to social status. So you live off of other people's perceptions of you. And it kind of tackles the question of what defines a person's worth. Is it innate? Is it given to them just by nature of who they are as being a human? Or is it based on what they contribute to the world? And so I just kind of took that idea, put it into a dystopian setting. And yeah, it's this character's journey through kind of figuring out what defines a person's worth. How do you live in a society that judges you based on their perception, and what does that actually look like?
Oh, I love dystopian novels. Is it futuristic or historical or something in the present?
It's futuristic, but it's based largely off of just my engagement with social media and social media influencers and all of that. So that kind of sparked the idea, but it is futuristic.
Oh, okay, wow. This is something that will really go for people like me, for those of us who enjoys the digital dystopian fiction, those kind of dystopian fiction that has all this computer, that's AI, that. And I really can't wait for this one.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh, and Sarah, you're talking about challenges debut authors face. So if someone wants to sign up and say, okay, I want to get my hands on this book once it's released, how would they be able to do that?
For sure, yeah. So you can go straight over to my website. It's sarahjrexford.com. Sarah is SarahRexford.com/book. And there you can find a video of me explaining a bit about the story, a bit about the journey. You can see advanced endorsements, what people are saying, and you can sign up there to become an early reader. So as soon as I get enough readers and a publisher says, let's move ahead with this, then you'll be contacted. And you can maybe even be on the launch team, read the book before it's even released into the world, and play a big role in
I like that.
Yeah. So head on over. It's sarahjrexford.com/book.
Yeah, and let me say this in the spirit of transparency that I've signed up and I'm currently on the waiting list.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I signed up a few days back and I am currently on your waiting list waiting for this one to be out. I'm so excited about it. I mean, when I saw Diane Mills' endorsement, I was like, of course, nothing in the world is going to keep me from reading this one once it's out. So, Sarah, I do hope you get this one out soon. So what's your website once again?
Yeah, so it's sarahjrexford.com, and you can find all the news about me, contact me, learn about my book. All of that is right there.
For anyone, probably just for sake of spelling the website wrongly, just go to the description of this episode. You will see all her links to her social media handles and her website attached to the description. And I hope that helps you to get in touch with Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah. I've really had a wonderful and an exciting conversation with you. And I hope that when this book comes out, when I invite you to come back, you'll be willing to come again.
Yes, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed chatting with you.
Oh, okay. Before we go, I just want to ask this question because I'm curious. You're an editor, a copywriter, and an author. Do you organize writing workshops?
Yeah, so I've taught different writing workshops at writing conferences. I really love getting to engage with authors in that way and just kind of pass on what I've learned. But yes, I've done writing intensive, writing workshops. I coach writers one-on-one, and you can find all that via my website. But it's fun just to work with authors really specifically on their books and help them see their dreams come true.
So any author who wants to get their book edited, can also reach out to you, right?
Yes. Yep. I provide editing services right on that same website.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And I hope this helps someone, an author listening right now. Thank you so much, Sarah. It has really been a pleasure having you.
Thank you so much.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. And it's like, come away again next time. I'm saying stay safe, stay blessed. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.